Okay, here's a quick introduction to adding and subtracting and multiplying complex numbers. As you remember, a complex number is simply a number that's got both a real part and an imaginary part. So we're going to be looking at this kind of problem here. So this looks complex, if you'll pardon the pun, but it turns out all you have to do is add together the real parts. Okay, so what's negative 3 plus 7? That's 4. And then add together, or combine that with the sum of the imaginary parts, 2i and positive 5i, so 7i. There's your answer. You're done. Okay, so when you get back to here, you'll just type in 4i plus 7i. Sorry, 4 plus 7i. Submit your answer. You're good. Okay. So it works that way. So with this one, you'll add together the real parts and the imaginary parts again. So 6 and 2, it's going to give you 4i. Negative 3 plus 5 is going to give you 2i. So 8, I'm sorry, I got that wrong. 6 and 2 is 8. Negative 3i and 5i is 2i, so you get 8 plus 2i. If it's subtraction, it works the same way. Let me copy this one, we'll do it. So what we'll do is say, look, I've got negative 3 minus 11. Okay? So negative 3 minus 11 is negative 14. Okay? And then I've got negative 8i minus positive 6i. So negative 8 minus 6 is negative 14i. Okay? So it works just like that. All you have to do is add the real parts or subtract the real parts if it's a subtraction problem, or add the imaginary parts or subtract the imaginary parts if it's a subtraction problem. So it's going to work out pretty nicely for you. Okay? So if I find a new one here, this one will be 8 minus negative 2, that's 10. And then negative 3 minus 5i, that'll be negative 8i. Okay? So let me go back here, and I want to also see how to multiply them. Okay, so we'll copy this. This is not going to be much more difficult. Okay. What we'll do is do the same thing we did with when these were x's, except there'll be just a little bit of a spice at the end. So we're going to FOIL this thing. So foiling, I've got the first pair, 11 times negative 10, that's negative 110. So that was here. I'll do the outside pair. That's going to be negative 88i. I'll do the inside pair. That's going to be negative 50i. Okay. And I'll do the last pair. That'll be negative 40i squared. The I squared came from the fact that you're multiplying I times I. Okay? So obviously we're going to combine these together right here like we used to. So that'll be what? Negative 138i. Okay? And then we'll have to be a little bit careful here because you may remember that I is the square root of negative 1. So I squared is negative 1. Okay? So really this is negative 40 times negative 1, so it becomes plus 40. So we'll take negative 110 and add 40. That's going to give us actually a negative 70. So that'll be our answer when we multiply that pair. Let's do another one. Copy that. And then we'll do the same thing. FOIL. 5 times 9 is 45. 5 times 10i is plus 50i. Negative 2i times 9 is negative 18i. And negative 2i times positive 10i is negative 20i squared. Okay? These will combine to get you 32i. This is actually going to be a plus 20 because it's negative 20 times I squared, but I squared is negative 1. So I'll have 45 plus 20. That gets me 65. There's my answer. Okay? Hope that helps you.